Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new TCX S-R1 race boot, available at RevZilla.com. So within the TCX line, the S-R1 is really going to be the baby brother of the RS2. The RS2 is that top-end pro-level race boot with all the bells and whistles for the every weekend racer, pro-level racer. The S-R1 steals a lot of that protective and comfort DNA, but leaves out a few key things. So for nearly $100 less, you're able to get a lot of the same boot. You're not getting the precise air fit system. The torsion control system is going to be a little bit different. And there are some other key features like the footbed, which would be just slightly different. But really what you're left with is a boot that's going to be really track ready, be very aggressive, be very protective, and should cover the bases from a comfort level. No problem here in the S-R1. Love to hear your gut reaction. Leave us your comments or your gut reaction and feedback at RevZilla TV on our YouTube channel. You can always click right here and subscribe. Now, quick note on Fitment. It runs Euro size, and we found that it was a hair more slender than the S or the RS2. So keep that in mind, but it's not anything so dramatic that it's going to make you have a really difficult time sizing it, especially if you're used to wearing numerically sized, European sized boots. Keep in mind too, we ship for free, exchange for free, no restock fees. Now taking my left side, moving it over, let's walk through some of the nuances on the S-R1. Looking at a microfiber, which is a synthetic leather construction. It's lightweight, it's going to be strong, lacking imperfections that you see in regular leather. And there are a few key protective elements that immediately come into play. We're all used to seeing TPU at the shin, at the heel to create that great heel cockpit and reinforcement in the toe box. But here on the TCX boot, we have the medial, or the lateral and medial ankle protection that ties in with their torsion control system. So what this is almost a spine that goes up your Achilles to the back, and it creates 3 points of tongue and groove. Tongue and groove on the lateral side, tongue and groove at the top of the heel, and tongue and groove on the inside. And what that does, it allows for range of motion, but really creates a stop in the event of a crash that's not going to allow your ankle to go past a point where it would get into that danger zone where you'd get a dramatic injury. So it's going to hopefully slow down and stop your ankle from overextending. The other piece they're using here, which we see on the RS2, which is nice, is their MCS. Now, a lot of acronyms. That's the metacarpal control system, or metatarsal rather. Metatarsals are the bones in your foot, the equivalent of these bones in your hand. This joint right here, as well as this dual compound slider, guards against protection and sliding on the lateral side like you'd expect to see in a race boot, but now allows the boot to flex with your toes, but won't allow them to hyperextend or hyperflex back. So you're not going to go past that range of motion. It's going to guard against hyperextension, so a nice feature there. Notice perforated, elasticated panels, these bellows here, which allow for comfort and additional flex. And you also see that we have them across the back. Notice too, if you're thinking about that RS2, it has that heel counter in the back that's metallic, not present here on the S-R1. And then looking at the sole, very much a race-inspired sole. You can see the texture, the way it's built. It is a reinforced sole. I'm going to give it about a 7 out of 10 on the stiff scale, so you'll get good tactile feedback from the bike while you're on the bike, but again, stiff enough to give you some support as well. Moving towards the inside, suede heat panel that you see extend down from the front for interface with your fairings. And if you open it up, YKK zipper that's on its Velcro that's going to stick right where it's supposed to belong. And then there's this air gap system here on the inside. And what that is a 3D bubble liner. Allows your foot and your leg to breathe, allows that sweat to be wicked away from you and evaporate through the exterior of the boot, keeping it cool. Really, if you think about riding scenarios, they do make waterproof track boots. Some guys do buy them, but for the most part, you're usually working pretty hard when you're on the bike, when you're on the track, or in spirited sport riding scenarios. Keep in mind too that from the S-R1 you could always step down into the S Sport Tour, which is much more of a traditional sport touring application, where this would be the first of the very aggressive boots that we see from TCX. Click right here to buy it at RevZilla.com/TCX. Remember, it's very easy to ship and exchange with us, and if you want to talk to any of our geeks about the nuances of the product or how it's positioned, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.